discussed how aura replaces energy into the air to restore the freshness of outdoor air into the indoor air. And we've discussed the importance of that freshness in the air. But the question is, how is aura able to do this? Well, in order to replace the freshness in the air, we need to do three things. Number one, we need to be able to produce those active molecules, the unstable molecules that exist in the outdoor air. Number two, we need to be able to provide many free electrons into the air, to be able to put negative ions, if you will, into the air. Number three, we need to be able to have a way to distribute the mixture of the unstable molecules and the ions into the room itself. So how do we do that? As you can see, aura is a very small device. So it's a step-by-step process. The first thing we do is we bring a little air into the back of the machine. The purpose of the fan in the machine is not to distribute ions and active molecules into the air, but merely to be able to bring the air in and to be able to provide a little bit of cooling inside the unit. Once the air is in the unit, the first thing that it reaches is a sculptured plasma plate. Now, a sculptured plasma plate basically is a plate that has variable energies on it, variable frequencies on it, and is able to pull the molecules of the air apart so that the oxygen and the nitrogen and the water vapor are pulled apart so that they become unstable. Now, you must realize that we're talking about relatively small percentage of the air is actually being converted, but it's vital that it be converted. The next step is that the air moves up into bipolar ion generator. Basically what we have here is two types of electron guns, very similar to old style television sets. And we have an extremely high voltage on those two needles that you see here. And those two needles then produce about 70 trillion ions a second. That's a very large amount, but because it is a bipolar system, they are equal amounts of positive and negative ions. And they are then launched into the air through some proprietary techniques, so that out of the unit we have a massive stream of negative ions coming and massive stream of positive ions coming. And yes, there is a lot of self-annihilation that takes place, but in the end what we have is a room that is saturated with as many positive and negative charges that it can hold, with them being destroyed as quickly as we're making them. That same energy that is used to propel the ions out into the air also drags with them the unstable elements of the oxygen and the hydrogen and the hydroxyls that we made back on that sculptured plasma plate. The end result is that very quickly we have an environment that is representative of what fresh outdoor air is. And that environment then is capable of breaking down the pollution that's in the air. It is capable of restoring the energy that is into the air. It does it without any unintended consequences. It's a very natural process. Every chemical reaction and every electronic and physics reaction that you see taking place is exactly the same thing that would take place in the outdoor air. The naturalness of it, the balance of it, is what makes aura complete.